This episode of the Blerd Mob contains explicit language. While we want everyone to enjoy the show, sometimes we may say things that are not appropriate for all ages. So, in other words, Mom, Dad, Granny, we cussing. Discretion is advised.
King G, Grow Site, ENT. Rock with it, rock with it, rock with it, rock with it. Let me pop my shit. Let me pop my shit. Hands up.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Blerd Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I am your host, Foot, joined by my two co-hosts, Ryan and Ralph. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other streaming service, make sure you hit that follow button so you can get updates from the mob.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those bell notifications for future uploads.
All right. So we're back again for another episode, and I just have to say that though we put out this Batman episode 2 weeks ago, I swear it feels like it's been a month since the last time we've been in here.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what it
like
is. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's this daylight savings time shit. But I was like, yo, we haven't been in the booth forever. I'm talking about the booth, we recording songs and shit. We ain't been in the studio in forever. So, what's been up with you guys?
Well, y'all know, but the fans may not know, your boy had a tonsillectomy. I got tonsillitis too much. I had to cut them things out. That's why I feel like it's been forever for me, because I just been on narcotics for the past 2 weeks. But I went to Olive Garden last night. I ate some pasta, some mozzarella sticks.
Not mozzarella.
I ate the bread and the salad. And my throat don't hurt. My throat don't hurt.
It's it never fails with you that no matter what question we ask you, your shit just always turns to food. It does.
Right.
No, I've been eating applesauce and popsicles and ice cream.
No, I
for 2 weeks.
feel
You
you.
know how
In
hungry I
this
was?
in this situation, I feel you. But any other time, we could be talking about some random ass bullshit, and you would come in with some food.
Yeah.
Bro, you don't know how hungry I've been, bro. Yesterday before the Olive Garden, my roommate was like, man, I'm gonna get some pizza for us before we play Dungeons and Dragons. I said, I can't get no meat because my throat and stuff. So I got me a cheese.
Not a cheese.
So, Ralph, when I say within 10
cheese.
minutes, the whole I don't want to scratch the throat. Meat might be too tough. But bro, when I say that whole pizza was gone, I'm like, damn, I was hungry. I ain't ate real food in 2 weeks.
The man ate a plain cheese pizza. That's how you know that man is struggling. I am not I
was hungry, bro.
As weird as it sounds that cheese comes on pizza, I'm not a plain cheese pizza eater. You're going to have to give me something. You're going to have to throw something on that thing. I'm not eating a plain cheese pizza.
It was bland, I ain't going to lie to you, but it's I was just happy to have some food in my
He
stomach.
was just happy to have some pizza.
I really was. Oh, right. You ain't lying.
So what's been going on with you, Ralph?
Just been catching up on pretty much a bunch of my shows. I was able to finish Rocky. I finished Tokyo Avengers. I went to go see the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie.
Mm-hmm.
How was it?
It was a good origin movie. That said, it was a few things that didn't make sense after watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil anything, so
you ain't have to spoil it. The minute you said that it was good, but some things didn't make sense, it's a JJK movie. I will stand by the series it was some shit I was watching, and I was like, what are we doing? What is this? I don't understand. And I was hoping, I didn't buy a ticket to the movie. I was gonna wait till it dropped later, or if I got enough feedback that yo, this movie is dope, I might go a $5 Tuesday and go see it. But
now I would say if you can, I guess just wait until it come out on Crunchyroll.
But there you have it, folks.
So I got a question. So I got another question, Ralph, based off what Food put in the chat about people saying it's better than Mugen Train. Do you think those are just JJK fans? These are both shonens. Both the movies came out after their season 1. These are high, tier animes right now. Was Mugen Train better?
Yeah.
Hey, look,
that's kind of like
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. People was coming for Ralph with his score from the Batman movie. So as y'all can see, my boy Ralph is a hardcore movie critic, and if he said this shit wasn't better than Mugen Train, this shit wasn't better than Mugen Train. I haven't seen it yet, so you ain't gotta listen to me if you want to.
Don't listen to me.
But my boy Ralph said it's not better than Mugen Train. But that's what's up. You finished Tokyo Revengers too.
It was a pretty chill movie,
Yeah.
Yeah. How you feel about Baki? Because I love Baki.
Baki's not done, correct?
The manga, there's like over 40 volumes of manga for Baki, and not all of it has been adapted. So if they want to make more seasons, they definitely can. That's the only answer I can really give.
I was able to watch Baki and also Baki when he was in the jail.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking they're not done yet, based on him still having to fight his father. So
yeah, it's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's getting some popularity. It might keep going.
Oh yeah. So I'm just waiting on that for the new season of that. I also watched Hunter x Hunter season 5.
Okay, what's season 5? Is that the Ant arc?
Never again.
Is that the Ant arc?
Chimera Ant arc.
Never again.
When I tell you the Chimera Ant arc made me want to quit watching Hunter x Hunter, it made me want to quit. How do you have 3 episodes of all them folks running in front of the same staircase from 5 different angles? How do you do that? Why would you do that?
And they showed the same scene of all of them crossing the corner, looking at that red Chimera Ant, and they're like, within that split second, his whole life flashed before his eyes, going back to his childhood.
We seeing flashbacks and all types of shit. I'm like, yo, can we get back to the action, please? Because they had me in the first half when them ants showed up and was kidnapping folks, killing folks. When they was going in, when they was first spreading out, I was like, okay, I'm fucking with this. Then it got to the middle, and I was like, y'all, come on. Then it got to the weird little part with the octopus ant. And I was like, why are we watching a full episode of this octopus? Why?
Look,
they lost me where the damn octopus ant was in a human body shooting fleas out of a cannon. I was like, what the fuck is this?
The best part of the Chimera Ant arc was legit when Gon fucked up Hito, and when Killa's granddad and when Killa's granddad and Netero came in with that dragon meteor shower. Those are the most fire scenes in the entire arc.
Gone. That man powered up so bad he turned into a grown man. What? He turned into TV static first. Then he turned into a grown man. he was TV static first. But stuff that's been on my radar for the past couple weeks. I did go on a family vacation last week, so I got to see all my fam, chill out at the beach, take a break from the podcast, the school, work, the app. It was a very well needed vacation. Things that happened while I was gone, they dropped a trailer for Miss Marvel. And it looks like it's going to be pretty damn good. The thing that got me about it, and I love this about trailers, they did an arrangement of blinding lights by The Weeknd for this trailer. But they made it cinematic. Like, it felt like a superhero show, the way that they did it. And I was like, this is giving me goosebumps. Like, I don't know. I'm going to put this out here about myself. I am a Marvel DC nerd, but when it comes down to the comic books, I'm more DC than I am Marvel. So I don't know much about Miss Marvel. I plan on doing some research because from what I've been seeing on Twitter, it looks like they're switching up her origin a bit. I need to confirm that. But I can't be like, nah, man, that's her origin or whatever, because I don't really know much about them. That drop. Other thing that hit my radar.
Nice.
This motherfucker right here. So, Teen Titans Academy.
Oh yeah, I seen you putting that on your Instagram.
Yo, so the thing that got me to buy this right here is that they brought back the OG lineup. If you guys don't take away anything else from me, just know that I am a diehard Teen Titans fan. And seeing the OG lineup minus Kid Flash, Wally West Kid Flash, I went straight fangirl. And I was like, I have to get this. And the story so far is pretty goddamn legit. It is.
Okay.
So
Good.
I came out of spring break with some good shit. And something else, and this is our first topic of the podcast. I want to go ahead and jump into this right now. Hogwarts Legacy State of Play drop Thursday, March 17th. And it's looking pretty damn good. I'm getting it as a Harry Potter fan. I know Ryan, and I don't know if you like RPGs, Ralph, but I know Ryan likes RPGs a lot. And I guess going forward with this discussion, we're just gonna get this from both sides of the spectrum. This is, from what we saw, do we feel like this is gonna be a solid game as far as gamers who enjoy RPGs, and as far as people who enjoy the Harry Potter fandom? How are we feeling about Hogwarts Legacy?
So it's funny. It's funny because I would say on this game, I'm right in the middle of why I'm buying it. I'm buying it 50% because I just love the Harry Potter universe. Y'all know Team Ravenclaw, that's all I am. And the other 50% for why I'm buying it, because I love RPGs. As a gamer, they got everything covered. They say this, the story is shape your own story. I don't know if it's going to be like player choice really plays a big part. Solid companion system. Seems like combat may have various ways to go about it. They show like potions and tools and using the plants and stuff. Base building where you can have your own place with the pets and the fantastic beasts and everything. And then in terms of a Harry Potter fan, we get to see all of Hogwarts. We get to see the common rooms that we did not get to see. We get to see the rooms, according to what they talked about, that they mentioned in the books, that we never got to see the inside of. It's based in the 1800s, so prior to the Harry Potter universe, because Harry Potter was in the 1900s. So we get to explore Hogsmeade, we get to explore past the forest, we get to see some of the fantastic beasts that we heard their names but never really got to see.
Mm-hmm.
So right in the middle, it's looking good as a Harry Potter fan and an RPG fan. But the only thing I'm worried about, and this is the RPG fan in me talking, I hope that even though they want to stay true to the lore and the Harry Potter universe and make a legitimate game that Harry Potter fans can enjoy, I hope that the RPG elements stick. They introduce new characters and they shape your own story. I hope the story feels good. This isn't Harry. This isn't Dumbledore. This isn't Professor Grindelwald. I mean, not Professor Grindelwald. What? McGonagall, I love her. This ain't none of the characters from the OG series. Is the story compelling? Am I going to care about the characters? Is the combat? If y'all remember they showed the dueling stuff, I'm going to just be honest. At a glance, it didn't look that too exciting. I didn't see counters. I didn't see parries. I didn't see dodges and all of that. Yeah, it was just spamming like 3 abilities. Make them hover, shoot them with fire, slam them down. I hope the combat feels good, because if the combat feels good and the story is good and it's already in the Harry Potter universe, you got a 10 out of 10 game. For me, as a Harry Potter fan and an RPG fan.
What about you, Ralph?
And there's no microtransactions.
Not watching the state of play, from what I've seen so far out of the game. I would definitely have to say that I kind of am excited for it, mainly as a Harry Potter fan, and having played the other previous Harry Potter games that came out on PlayStation, that actually did involve the actual story, and finally getting a chance to have a game to where we can create our own character and pick our own destiny, in a sense. I want to see how they bring all of the different elements of Hogwarts aside from the story elements that we already know. Pretty much what Ryan was saying. I don't want to see the same characters of Snape. I don't want to see McGonagall. I don't want to see anybody that's really just in the original story. I want to see
Mm-hmm.
brand new people. I want to see new interactions. Give me a nice fresh feel that I can have for myself
Facts.
instead of regurgitating the same things that we've already seen.
And I think that's the selling point of Hogwarts Legacy. The fact that it's set in the 1800s this is before Harry Potter. This is before Fantastic Beasts. Like, all of the media that we've seen of Harry Potter content is not non-existent in this game. All the things that you guys say you don't want to see, it's impossible to put it in this game. Unless these witches and wizards have a lifespan of like 200 years, you're not gonna get that in this game. And I think that's the selling point. I think what is going to make this game so immersive, if they do this correctly, is that it is a create your own. This is a Harry Potter fan's dream right here.
It really is.
To show up at Hogwarts, even though you're not starting from the first year, you're entering as a 5th year student, but you're going through the whole process. Character customization. What do I want to look like in the Harry Potter universe? You go to the sorting hat. What house do I want to be in? What Ron said, depending on what house you're in, you're going to see common rooms of houses that we have not seen in the movies. Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw.
Facts.
You're going to be able to explore part of the castle that they may have mentioned or shown a tiny bit of in the movies, but actually to fully immerse yourself in that. One of the things that they showed was the Room of Requirement, which we've seen several times in the Harry Potter movies. But what does it mean based on how the Room of Requirement performs? What does that mean to show up in the Room of Requirement for my purposes and not watching it through Harry's eyes or Draco's eyes? You know what I'm saying? But I'm about to counter my statement. I said that this game is basically a Harry Potter fan's dream. There are a couple controversies surrounding Hogwarts Legacy. One is that I'm going to start with the first one, is that this is a completely different story outside of Harry Potter. And all three of us are in consensus that we like that. We want that. We want something different. What about the fans that want a Harry Potter game and they want to see Harry, Dumbledore, McGonagall, and all of them? Can the game bring a big enough oomph that doesn't even matter? That even though we saw nobody from the previous Harry Potter games besides the ghosts, they did mention that you're going to be able to see some of the ghosts in the game. Can this game make a big enough smash, given the fact that no familiar faces other than the ghosts are going to be in this game? That's my first controversial topic.
See, and that's the thing. I hope they got a nice storyboard builder on the team, because Harry Potter has a lot of lore. There's a lot you can play around with. Like, let's not forget there are other schools of magic in the Harry Potter universe. If they wanted to, if they really wanted to just go above and beyond, they wouldn't even have to focus on Hogwarts. That's how big the Harry Potter universe is. But if they got a good story builder, if they can make it to where I enjoy the story, even the fans who want to see Harry, even the fans who want to see Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall, I feel like they can get over that. Because me personally, I don't want to see a Harry Potter story over again. Most Harry Potter fans have probably read the books and watched the movies at least 3 times each. Like, let's just be completely honest. Like, we've seen that story. Even if you showed me Harry as an adult, I don't care about that. Even if you showed me Harry before he got struck by Voldemort, that might be interesting, but I know what it leads into. I know how that story ends. I want to be shown a new, immersive, compelling story. And that now I can live through it as my Ravenclaw wizard. That's all I want. That's all I want from an RPG perspective and a Harry Potter fan. And I feel like other Harry Potter fans who want to see Harry, if it's a good enough story, I feel like they can get past that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the other thing was, there are Harry Potter fans that are conflicted on whether they want to buy Hogwarts Legacy due to J.K. Rowling's anti-trans statements that have been coming out in the previous years. They are hesitant to buy the game because, as you guys know, J.K. Rowling owns the Harry Potter IP. She makes $95 million a year off this IP. So it's kind of like it's going back to that discussion that we always have when something controversial comes up with anybody who's created something, any artist. Can we separate the art from the artist?
Now, being that I'm not in the community that was attacked, however, I also don't like the way that J.K. Rowling did that because let folks live their lives. Why does it's not bothering you? At the same time, it's like, I don't know if I'm selfish for still wanting to play Hogwarts Legacy, but I still want to play it. Like, yeah, I don't agree with her views, but let me just be honest. Her creation, it brings me joy. I probably work for some people who got views that I would overtly disagree with. I probably interact with people on a daily basis, but because we haven't had conversations that I probably disagree with their views. But at the end of the day, Harry Potter brings me joy. Harry Potter was my childhood. I can tell y'all how I was introduced to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Harry Potter brought me so much levels of happiness, and now that happiness and joy can grow. J.K. Rowling, you suck. But I'm gonna be honest. This project Harry Potter works.
No, I feel you. It's because of, I guess it's going into that thing. I think we are living in an era where all of our heroes are becoming villains. Like people that we thought were like some good stand-up people because of look of what they created, and then they turn around and do something like this, and it's like, dog, like what Ryan was saying, like I grew up with the Harry Potter stuff. Harry Potter itself means a lot to a lot of people. The Harry Potter universe is so inclusive to Black people, to trans people, to gay people, to all different types of people, ethnicities, races, genders, sexual orientation, that something like that something with J.K. Rowling being trans hits hard.
It does.
With a fandom that can touch so many people, that the way that she crafted this universe, that we could show up to Hogwarts right now, get sorted into a house, and learn all these spells, and it did not even matter what I looked like, where I came from. And I feel them on that. I feel the hesitancy and the conflict. But I want to say this, and you can get mad at me if you want to. I think J.K. Rowling is turning into one of those people who's going to get her money regardless. I think at this point, and I think in this point in her career, there is nothing that you can do to stop her bankroll. From the movies, to the books, to the fact that Universal, in both theme parks, has set up a Wizarding World, the fact that the Fantastic Beasts franchise is going on, and this game on top of it, I feel you guys 100%, but I do not think we're going to be able to stop her from getting her bankroll. But I will say this. One of the biggest reasons why I was down for Hogwarts Legacy is that J.K. Rowling had a very, very small part in this game. She said that she was supportive of the game's development and entrusted the design and the creation of the games to Warner Brothers Games and the developers involved. So this story, these elements, yes, she created the universe, but the story and the gameplay elements that are falling into it is straight the developers. And if this game succeeds, if this game comes out 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, then that proves that Harry Potter can exist outside of J.K. Rowling. And think about the doors that can open. That we may start, Ralph, we've talked about this for years, that they could launch a Harry Potter series on HBO Max right now because the world is so big. The lore is so huge.
Yeah.
And I feel like if this game, with very little involvement from J.K. Rowling, delivers a good-ass story with those elements,
shows how good that world is.
It shows that the world can live without her. And that could open the doors for other Harry Potter media to come out that she doesn't have to be involved in. Because think of Star Wars. George Lucas, he may have a part in it, but he's not the sole, yes, let's do this, no, don't do that, for all of the the Star Wars productions that are coming out. And this could be J.K. Rowling, this could be Harry Potter, the universe itself, to stand alone if this game succeeds. So I would say
exactly.
I'm a buy it because I'm a Harry Potter fan. Even when I got into Harry Potter, I wasn't really concerned with what J.K. Rowling was doing. No, I'm gonna put this out there. I do not support what she's her anti-trans statements. Like, people who, the three main casts of the Harry Potter movies have openly stated that they do not agree with her. So, I mean, I'm still gonna buy the game because we can't stop her bankroll. But I will say that if we show this game much support and it delivers on story and game elements, then this may push Warner Brothers to capitalize on Harry Potter outside of J.K. Rowling's influence.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, at the end of the day, like you said in the beginning, she's going to make her money regardless, but people can also choose to support what they want to support. But I'm going to just be real. I still eat Chick-fil-A sandwiches. I'm still going to read Harry Potter.
Okay.
Why you always got to bring
I know.
Listen to me, because I was just finna say that. No, why did you go to Chick-fil-A just now? Okay. I understand.
It's a similar situation.
I understand. Yes, I understand why you brought up Chick-fil-A. I do. I understand why you brought up Chick-fil-A. But it's the fact that you brought up Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I mean, because it's also like that. Because that also affects me personally.
You have to do that.
That also affects me personally as a black person. But it's like,
yeah,
I completely understand people for not supporting something that doesn't support them. But at the end of the day, do what you're comfortable with. Do what you feel comfortable with, and something that you can be proud of at the end of the day.
Right. I think the fact, if anything, the fact that she wasn't involved in the production of this game. That, yes, she created the universe, but the story elements, the gameplay, she didn't touch that. And I think this could open the door that these stories can tell themselves, that they don't need her in the back writing up a story to match this game. They might, send it to her to get her blessing, like, hey, JK, we wrote something for this game. And she'd be like, oh, okay. But, like, she's not sitting in the studio like, yo, I want them to do this instead of do that. Like, nah.
Like, they ain't all like at a bar right now getting glasses of beer together or nothing. Like, she ain't that connected to it.
Right. So I think the game will make us a stamp on the fandom if it comes out to be good. I think the other thing surrounding this controversy is Fantastic Beasts. That because she's been directly involved in Fantastic Beasts. So I think she's been an executive producer on all of the Fantastic Beasts movies. So we got 2 Harry Potter staples coming out this year. I'm still on the fence about Fantastic Beasts, but I'm getting that game. I said this a long time ago.
Look, movie review coming soon.
Movie review, next mock review, Fantastic Beasts. Now this one may not be so hunky-dory like the Batman. I do want to touch on the DC projects though, because you mentioned the Batman. When the Batman dropped, like, I want to say a week or maybe a couple days, DC started pushing back all of the movies, and I'm talking about back to back. This is not like Tuesday this got pushed back, Wednesday this got pushed back, Friday this got pushed back. I'm talking about back to back notifications that they are switching around the whole lineup, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Flash got pushed back to June 2023. Aquaman got pushed back to March 2023. Shazam 2 got pushed up to December 2022, which is now taking Aquaman's spot. And Black Adam got pushed back to October 2022. They are saying that it's COVID-related issues, COVID-related production delays with visual effects. I call bullshit. I think this is completely me. You don't have to agree with me if you don't want to. But I think they saw how much traffic the Batman was getting, and they looked at these movies and they said, we can't send these out right now. Right. We cannot put out this Batman movie and then turn around and give them a half-ass movie if they considered it a half-ass movie. So now they're trying to switch. They're trying to switch stuff around so they can fix some things. That's my personal opinion. You don't get this close.
Here's the best analogy.
What?
Here's the best analogy. It's like when we was in senior project in college, and one person chose to go above and beyond and do something different. We like, no, we're going to get A's regardless. We're going to get a decent grade, or the teacher going to be hard on us regardless. We know what we're getting out of this. And that one person who went above and beyond with their project got scholarships, got an internship offer, and went above and beyond. This is what happened. If you see that one student getting all those awards, you're going to sit there and be like, hold on. Seeing project ain't due for another 2 months? I was going to turn this MFA in next week? Back up. Let me go rework this, because I want some scholarships too. I want an internship and a job offer too.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like happened right here.
That's what I feel like happened.
We are used to people complaining. We are used to people complaining. We are used to hitting a certain level, but we can go above now? And we know what set us above? Oh, they finna rework.
I think we are too close. I'm looking at, because Flash was supposed to drop. No. Which one's Black Adam was supposed to drop first. It was supposed to drop in July. That slot is now being taken by the DC Super Pets animated movie. I'm not going to see that shit, but July. We are 4 months. We were 4 months out from the first DCEU movie of 2022, and they pushed that shit back. And I think we're too close in the game for it to be COVID related. For you to say that the pushback is COVID related, I think the coincidences. I think the window is too small for you to say that, because of how you saw the Batman getting all this traffic. People were going crazy for the Batman. And I said this offline, and I'm going to say this right here. The Batman got saved. Had Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness dropped when it was supposed to, the Batman would not be getting all this hype. It may have got some hype. Mm-hmm. You're going to go down your TL, and you're going to see 16 tweets about Multiverse of Madness. You're going to see that one guy in the middle talking about Batman. You are.
Facts.
The Batman got saved by the MCU pushback, and you're not going to tell me otherwise. So, because the Batman is standing alone as the superhero movie of March 2022, and because it got all the traffic it got, that's the only reason I see these pushbacks. You can say it's COVID related, but I call bullshit. And
I don't think it is COVID related though.
What you say?
I don't think it's COVID related at all. I looked at a report when it actually came out that they were pushing the first movie back that they pushed back. They did say it was the visual effects, and it's been a backup for like all of their movies. Like Aquaman is heavily in visual effects. The Flash is heavily visual effects. I don't think Shazam is.
Shazam has
it's
to
not
be.
As much.
Shazam
it's
has
not
to
as
be.
much as Not as much as the Flash or Aquaman.
Okay, because I was about to
That you
say
can't.
you can't make a Shazam movie and it not have visual effects. Like, what are we watching?
Sure, but it's not as much as those two other movies.
I feel you.
So that's probably why they have that ability to push that one up and push the others
But
back.
this is why
Same with Black Adam. I feel like that will be heavily visual effects.
same. But this is why I call bullshit. This is another reason why I call bullshit, and this is going to lead into my other question that I had about this topic. They have been working on the Flash movie since 2018. Let's pause.
Damn.
They've been working on the Flash movie since 2018. Let that sink in.
Pause again.
Pause again. Well, let's take a moment of silence. They've been working on the Flash movie since 20. That's 5 years.
5 years, sir.
It's 5 years.
Quick math.
We were supposed to have seen this movie in theaters, seen this movie on HBO Max, streamed this on some other service, bootlegged it a couple times, talked shit about it, then sat back and was like, well, that part wasn't that bad. We were supposed to have been having these conversations about The Flash a long time ago. And they finally thought they had the window because they showed us a teaser last year for DC Fandom. And everybody thought that the pieces were finally coming together for the Flash movie. And now it's getting pushed back again. That's why I don't feel like it's COVID related. How have you been working on a movie for 5 years? And then, given that the Flash was not supposed to drop until November, but how have you been working on a movie for 5 years? And now, when because to me, it seemed like everything was lining up for the DCEU. Yeah. This was supposed to be the year for superhero movies. It was. Marvel was coming and DC was coming with their movies. And now they're doing all of this pushback, and I don't know. I can't see it being COVID related. I'm seeing it as they saw this Batman movie take off. Maybe they weren't expecting this Batman movie to take off, but it did. And now they were like, whoa, wait a minute. Let's tweak some shit before we put this out to the masses.
Hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some pimping in it. They said they remixing it.
So my other question coming out of this with the pushbacks is that if my hunch is right and they went back to the drawing board to tweak these movies. I don't like you, Ron. If they went back to the drawing board to tweak these movies, does this mean that we are going to get some better DCEU movies? I want to hear you guys answer before I put out mine.
As a gamer who has damn near gotten used to games releasing too early, even in the gaming industry, I now celebrate when a game gets delayed. It used to be a few years back, if a game got delayed, oh man, I want to see it. I'm so upset. I pre-ordered. I was going to play it during Christmas break. Nah. When a game get delayed, yes sir. Yes sir. It's finna look good. They finna fix the graphics. It should be less bugs. I feel like I'm going to just apply the exact same theory to movies. I'm just going to apply that same theory to movies. If you looked at a movie and said, you know what? Let me wait 6 more months. That's a good sign for me. That's a good sign for me. I'm just going to apply my gaming theory because it's the same for video games.
What about you, Ralph?
I would have to say I am happy that they did push it back because to me it seemed like they were on that track of trying to compete with Marvel as far as their style of movie goes and trying to connect all of them together. Mm-hmm. So them pushing it back gives them more opportunity to be like, hey, let's try not to do what Marvel does, try to match them movie per movie. Because if they was going to try to do that this year, it wasn't going to work.
They was going to lose.
They was going to lose. That was not going to be a great matchup. So I would just say that. I don't Even though DC has the top 3 superheroes, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Just because y'all have the top 3 don't mean you have to cross those 3 together to make one universe.
Hell, I'm still waiting on a good Green Lantern movie myself.
Man, you gonna have to let that go. Y'all gonna have to let that go until they get this shit together. Y'all gonna have to let that go. So I don't have a definite answer for this. I don't know. I don't fucking know if this means that we're gonna get better DCEU movies. Point in case, I'm gonna go back to this. They've been working on Flash since 2018. How much more tweaking do you need to do with this movie? And then I'm gonna put out some other examples of superhero movies. These aren't DC that went through reshoots, rewrites, redos, whatever, and they came out to be garbage. New Mutants, Dark Phoenix. So I don't know. I do not know if this. I cannot apply the game theory to this. I can't. I cannot apply the game theory that this pushback is going to come out positive, because I've seen movies where it did not come out positive. That they did all this work around and all these reshoots and trying to go a different direction. I'm not going to see this movie, but this is gonna, when I do watch this movie, and if it's not good, this is gonna be another egg in my basket. Morbius. They have pushed back Morbius. I want to look this up, but I want to say that Morbius was originally supposed to be released in 2016.
2016?
That's a long time.
That's essentially a whole new movie, if that's the damn case. Because Portia jogged my memory, even on the other movies.
No. It was supposed to come out in 20.
Due to like.
It was supposed to come out in 2020. My bad. I don't know where I got 2016 from, but this was supposed to come out in 2020, and it's been getting delayed. First, it got delayed to the pandemic. It got delayed again, and then after Spider-Man No Way Home came out, they delayed it again. That's another reason why I call bullshit. Because why are you moving Morbius after the traffic that Spider-Man No Way Home got? You push back Morbius? That's another reason why I call bullshit.
And here's the thing with the pushbacks. It also depends on why. Like, if there's a pushback and you're telling me the director or the writer, the producer started disagreeing on something, or somebody got sick, or somebody just didn't like what they made, then I'm going to be a little scared. But if you're telling me, like, right now, we're just assuming the pushback is because they want to go polish their movie some more, tweak some things to make sure it's as good as the Batman, if we're going off that theory, that's when I'm not mad at the pushback. That's when I'm almost celebrating the pushback. But in some cases, yeah, if you're telling me, oh, these actors did this, someone ain't like this, someone passed away, and stuff like that, that's when I'm scared. That's when I'm worried about a pushback, because then it's something that they couldn't control that caused them to basically, I don't want to say panic, but they were forced to adjust versus they chose to adjust and adapt willingly. You see what I'm saying? Like Black Panther 2, they probably already had a pre-written story for it. But with the death of the former Black Panther actor, I'm sorry for not saying Chadwick Boseman, they had to adjust. That's why I'm worried about Wakanda Forever. Because I'm pretty sure they plan to have him at least in the next couple of movies. That's when I'm worried. But in terms of these DC movies, they ain't said nothing about no directors or producers getting upset about something. They ain't said nothing about a change of actors and writers or nothing of that nature. That's when I'm not too mad about a pushback. I'm almost celebrating it.
I don't know, man. I've been let down by these DCEU movies for a very long time. And they have had their silver linings. I don't know. I'm especially concerned for Flash, because the rumor has been circulating that the Flash is supposed to be erasing the Snyderverse. So the Snyderverse is Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League. When Flash is basically about to do a Flashpoint thing. If you guys don't know what Flashpoint is when Flash makes the decision to go back and save his mother from dying, and he just rewrites the whole universe. So he's going to go and do that, and everybody's going to split off into their own universe. That's the rumor, that everybody's going to split off to their own universe. They are going to live with the knowledge that they have teamed up before, that they know that every one of them exists, but they're not going to coexist on the same universal plane. So that's another reason why I'm concerned. That's another reason why I'm concerned with the Pushback, with the Flash, and them switching around Shazam, because now it's like, is Shazam falling into that Flashpoint thing, or is this the last movie that happens before they start flipping stuff around? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could see that, definitely.
Well, I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll have to see. So Black Adam is still gonna be the first DCEU movie of 2022. It just drops in October now instead of July. So we'll see what they coming with. We'll see. I want to move on to, since we're talking about films and stuff, I want to talk about Netflix. I want to get back to our streaming service business, which we've been following for a long time now. I just want to put this out here, Ron, is that the boys are coming for you. They coming for you. The boys are coming for you. Netflix put out a statement that they are testing fees for subscribers who are sharing their passwords outside of their household. I did some further research into this, into why and where they're testing this. Netflix said that people who are sharing passwords are impacting their ability to invest in great new TV and films for their members. They're about to start testing this outside household fee in Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru. And I looked at the stats. I couldn't find Peru's stats, but 2 of those countries have the lowest amount of Netflix subscribers globally. Compared to the United States, 67 million. Chile has 946,000. Costa Rica has 298,000. So that's where they're going to start. And then they're going to be testing them with different price points. And I guess they want to see how this goes out. And business-wise, I'm going to give it to Netflix, because had they pulled that out the gate for the 67 million subscribers in the United States, that jump was not going to slide. That was not going to slide.
Listen, two things. Netflix, don't be out here lying because you a dying company. Number 2, they said they was going to do this same shit some years back, didn't they?
So
didn't they already say this before?
So what they did, so what they were doing a couple years ago is that they were sending notifications to certain people that was like, we see that your account is being used outside of your household, and you had to verify your account information through like a text message or something like that. So they've tried something before. But it wasn't monetary. This is monetary.
Listen, bro. I'm gonna put some of my family business out there, but it's because they don't watch this. My aunt still uses my cousin's ex-boyfriend's Netflix from like 10 years ago. You think she gonna stop? No. Ain't nobody else complaining about password sharing. But Disney Plus, HBO Max, ain't none of them complaining about password sharing. You wanna know why?
Listen to the statement of why they said they're doing it. It's impacting our ability to invest in great new TV and films for our members. They are basically saying that we are not getting enough money to put out content.
They're broke. Listen,
we already knew that Netflix was in debt. We knew it.
They invested.
We knew that for years.
Remember when they invested billions of dollars to make the series that they got now, like Arcane and everything else?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. Let's talk about it. Let's woosah.
Not woosah.
Amazon acquired MGM Studios and has been put on the radar for some of their series, especially like Invincible and Vox Machina. HBO Max is merging with Discovery Plus, and now they're expanding their lineups. Crunchyroll and Funimation just merged, and now they got all of the anime.
Mm-hmm.
Disney Plus got Hulu. We already talked about the acquisition wars, bro. Netflix is finna become the next blockbuster. Other folks are doing better with them because they're the only ones complaining about password sharing. You want to know why? Because Netflix used to survive off of content that was not theirs. Yep. They tried to do the switcheroo and start making their own content. However, that's hard because there's a lot of fan/customer loyalty to a lot of pre-existing content that Disney Plus owns and that HBO Max owns. A lot of people love FX, Family Guy, American Dad, and Simpsons. That ain't never stopping. A lot of people love the Disney princesses and Marvel. That ain't never stopping. A lot of people love Cartoon Network and the movies that come out by Cinemax in the AMC theaters, and that ain't never stopping. The thing about Netflix, and guess what? A lot of people love anime, and it's now only on one platform, Crunchyroll and Funimation. Go check Hulu and look at them expiration dates on your favorite animes. There's finna be a purge. I'm sorry, Netflix. I'm sorry to the people who invest in stocks and they invested in Netflix. It's time to sell. Netflix is just dying.
Netflix, it's not even that. I think Netflix was starting to get a bad rap. Let's just talk about I'm gonna put out this that Netflix has been doing since they started putting out their originals. Mm-hmm. They get a show and they turn around and cancel it. It's shows I've seen shows that people were heavily invested in and they come back and there's no more seasons. Netflix has pulled the trigger on it. So you've lost the audience. Let's talk about the first thing they did when 2022 hit. They raised subscription prices. What used to be $18 for a premium Netflix subscription is now 20 bones. Let's do a comparison. The highest plan on Disney Plus is $20. You know what that gets you? Disney Plus, Hulu and ESPN Plus for $20 versus Netflix. You want me to pay for this one? You want me to give you $20 for this one service? HBO Max is not even $20. And look at all they're getting movies. They're getting movies on the same day that they drop in the theaters, and people are not paying $20 for the service.
And HBO Max is free when you get an AT&T Uverse internet subscription.
Hello?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Too many avenues.
And you raise prices when everybody is still broke.
Come on. Amazon Prime. If you get an Amazon Prime account, an Amazon account, and you start paying for Prime Video comes with that. You can either get it separate or you can get it with the Prime account.
Correct.
Plus the music, plus cloud storage, and everything else. Amazon Prime pays for itself.
I think where Netflix is failing, because let's talk about the trend that we're bringing up. All of these different avenues that you can get to these other streaming services rather than going to them directly. I think what Amazon is losing on is that some type of partnership. That if you do this, then you get this Netflix subscription. Or if you do this, you get something else that comes with Netflix. They're missing out on it. They're missing out. Even wasn't Verizon doing a thing that if you were a first-time Verizon customer, they gave you like Disney Plus for 12 months free?
Yeah, that's how I had Disney Plus. You got it for a full year. And it wasn't even if you was a first-time customer. All customers, you just got an email. Hey, you with Verizon. Guess what? You qualify for Disney Plus for free for a whole year. Here you go.
Apple was doing that. So they're not... I wouldn't put them up with HBO Max and Hulu and all of them. But Apple TV, if you are they were doing a thing that if you bought an iPhone, like the newest iPhone or something like that, they gave you a year of Apple TV free.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's failing for Netflix is that they're not finding those avenues. I think convenience. Because people are going to pay for streaming service. We talked about this. Nobody's watching cable anymore. And it's all about picking the correct streaming services. What is going to make Netflix the correct streaming service for 2022? Raising subscription prices is not going to do it. You charging people because they're sharing their passwords outside of their households is not going to do it. I feel the reason why they're doing it because they're not getting the income. If I had a premium Netflix subscription and I shared it with you two, they just lucked out on $40 because we're sharing the password.
There we go.
I feel them. I understand why they're doing it, but if you start charging people for sharing their passwords outside of the household, what are you giving back to them? If somebody sat down and said, okay, I'll pay this $25, say they upped it up to $25. I'll pay this $25 to keep watching Netflix because I'm a loyal Netflix customer. I know if I get on Netflix, I could at least find one thing to watch for the night. What are you going to do to keep them paying that $25? You see what I'm saying? And if it gets to the point where so many people decide to pay the $25 that they have enough money to start putting out some bomb-ass content, then there it goes. But that's like something you have to wait for like 2 or 3 years to see. That's not something that's not going to happen overnight.
And that's the thing, bro. Like, even when we did our questionnaire about the top streaming service, if we ask people what would be their top streaming service, like if Netflix just went on a purge and said, delete y'all got to go pay for Netflix now, how many of those people are even willing to pay for it? Like, yeah, a lot of people probably got it on their TV, they ain't paying for it. I ain't paying for it. Netflix purge me if you want to, but I'm just be real. Actually, it was the last time I watched something on Netflix.
Talk about it.
I'm finna get on Crunchyroll after this. I'm gonna get on Crunchyroll right after this recording and go watch Attack on Titan.
Period.
Let's just keep it $1.50. Like how
there
many
is
people,
nothing...
even if y'all kick people off, at the very least, if more people have access, when a good movie or a good show comes out that goes viral and we all talking about it, I think I've seen a good amount of people talking about the Tinder Swindler. Unless a good amount enough people are going to start talking about it, if anything, that's going to bring y'all some traction.
But I'm going to touch on that. It's that one hot thing that brings everybody back to Netflix. And that's not even a good marketing strategy, because why am I going to pay for a full Netflix subscription when I only want to watch this one thing that everybody been talking about on Twitter?
Exactly.
Girl, give me your password so I can watch this right quick.
and what are y'all buying? Like, y'all invested in y'all Netflix studios, but let's just be real. What are y'all acquiring at this moment? Like I said, Amazon just bought MGM Studios. If I remember correctly, that's the one with the gold arch with the lion in the middle. I think they made Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of my old school series. Like, they were the production company behind a lot of series and movies. Like, Amazon is growing their prime, and they still doing a whole lot of other stuff. Let's talk about it. HBO Max just got Discovery Plus. That comes with a lot of different stuff. My mama can now watch her Lifetime soap operas now on HBO Max. The same platform I can watch my cartoons and movies that just dropped in theaters.
I think Netflix is just taking hits.
Let's just keep it $1.50.
I think Netflix is just taking hits all around. I think the biggest hit, and I found this funny, but this is Falcon Punch. This is Falcon Kick right here. Disney finally snatched the mature Marvel content off of Netflix and threw it on Disney Plus. They have upped their parental controls. Like last night, I had to re-log in and do all this other type stuff just to say I want to allow TVMA content on my Disney Plus. They are there's a lot of implications of what that means for Disney Plus to start allowing TVMA content on the streaming service. The funny thing I want to talk about is that when you watch the shows, they used to have like in the credits that this was like a Netflix production. Disney has snatched that off. If you didn't know that these shows existed on Netflix, you will never know. It's a wrap. You will never know.
Exactly,
you will
bro.
never know. I know something you don't.
And here's the thing, we're not rooting for Netflix failure because competition boosts the economy and competition is good for the consumer, but let's just be honest.
I just want to see what they're going to do.
This is a war and it is multiple sides at this point.
I just want to see what they're going to do. If they come out of this test and they get the results that this might work in the US, I want to see how that's going to turn out. I want to see how many people are going to drop Netflix or how many people are going to stay. I think that they're going to lose a lot more watches than they're expecting. And if they're prepared for that, then sure. But I hope they have a plan.
I feel like they might lose subscribers.
That's what I'm saying. I'm subscribers and watchers, because let's talk about the password sharing. If I'm sharing my Netflix password with y'all two and I stop subscribing, they just lost 3 people. They lost 1 subscriber, but they lost 3 watchers. That's why I'm saying if people are not sliding with this, they're about to lose a lot of watchers. And if they are prepared for that, then Beyblade. But if they're not, then I don't know. It was really interesting to see that, for them to actually start cracking down on people sharing passwords. They said it's in the terms and conditions, but let's be real, y'all. Nobody reads the terms and conditions. Y'all didn't read the terms and conditions, because how y'all let this go on for so long?
You know what's the most irritating thing? When you read the terms and conditions and they make you scroll before you say accept. I just rush through that thing. I say accept.
Yeah.
Why y'all add that level of difficulty into my life?
Right. Nobody got time to be doing all that.
I'm still not going to read
I think if they would have took the password sharing serious from the jump, I don't think this would be an issue. I think this would just be common Netflix behavior, because you guys have been doing that for the jump. But because you guys have not been cracking down on password sharing, at this point it's too many people to control. Also, you let it get built up to where you are competing against multiple streaming services. It's not like back in the day where it was just Netflix versus Hulu. It's not like that anymore. I don't want my Netflix subscription? Fine. I'm going to go to HBO Max. I'm going to go to Hulu. I'm going to go to Disney Plus. I have other avenues. Why do I need Netflix? That's the question. That's the $1 million. That is the $1 million question of this conversation. Why do we need Netflix?
To be honest, they just need to grow as a company. I ain't trying to go into like all the business analytics and all that, but Netflix as a company has not evolved much, like in a while. Like when we talk about what these other companies are doing, like HBO Max does a lot of productions and everything else, and they got other investments. Amazon Prime is one of the most minuscule parts of their setup and their income.
So small they don't even promote that jump for real.
Right, Amazon Prime is chump change. They don't even promote their series unless you're on Amazon Prime Video watching another series. They don't care. And then Disney Plus, let's just be real.
Come on now, we can't even talk about Disney. We can't even talk about. We can't even talk about Disney, because it's the same thing, that Disney Plus is maybe the smallest percentage of the revenue that they're getting.
And they just added Hulu and ESPN for fun. Because they could.
Because they could. We bought it because we could.
Exactly. No. Wasn't nobody else using it for nothing. That's what they said.
I feel you on that.
True.
I feel you on that.
Come on now. Let's talk money.
Let's talk.
Netflix need to evolve as a company.
So, while speaking of companies that are dying, because Netflix is not the only one. So these are for all the sneakerheads out here. I know we don't do sneaker talk a lot. We haven't done sneaker talk at all since we came back for the 2022 season. But I have to jump on this one. Nike is pulling their products out of Footlocker. And I want to say I wasn't surprised that this happened because Nike has been pulling out their products from other third-party retailers. JCPenney, I saw NSW, or not NSW, whatever that shoe store is. Is it DSW?
Yeah, I want to say it's DSW.
But they've been pulling their shoes out. I guess just to prevent me from listing out stores that I think I saw on the list of where Nike pulled out their products, and before y'all go into the store and see some Nike products and come after me, they've been pulling their stuff out. And what hit headlines a couple weeks ago is that they pulled Nike out of Footlocker because Nike wants to focus on direct-to-consumer efforts. So it's going to get to a point to where you can only get Nike clothing, socks, shoes from Nike. You're going to have to go straight to the source. For Footlocker specifically, this might be a wrap for them. For 2021, 70% of Footlocker sales came from Nike products.
There we go.
70%.
There we go.
But so 30% of their sales came from the other 5 brands that they have in there. Puma, Adidas, New Balance. There's another one. What'd you say?
Under Armour.
And
Vans.
Footlocker sells Vans?
I think Vans, because Converse is...
I would assume Vans. Yeah, I think they do sell Vans.
Yeah, Converse is owned by Nike, so you can't include them no more.
If they got Vans in Footlocker, then I was gonna say Reebok. My last one was Reebok.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You threw me off with Vans, but I was thinking Reebok. So you just meaning to tell me the other 30% of their sales came from these other 5 brands? It's a wrap for Footlocker. It's a wrap. If these other brands, especially if these other brands catch on to the trend that direct to consumer is about to be the new avenue, that they just decide that they don't want to go through these third-party resellers, that they want people to come straight to the source, it's a wrap for Footlocker. And it's not just going to be a wrap for Footlocker. It's going to be a wrap for Champs. It's going to be a wrap for Finish Line. It's about to... Hey, I think the only third-party retailers that will live through this direct-to-consumer is GOAT, StockX, and what's the other app? Sneakers?
And Sneakers is the Nike app. But the thing is...
Okay.
Sneakers is owned by Nike. But the thing with StockX and GOAT, that's basically consumer to consumer. That's just a resale market. That ain't got nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
With the direct-to-consumer methodology, let's just be real. A lot of companies could do it, but you got to build an infrastructure. Nike has built their infrastructure with their Nike factories and all of these outlet malls, with the Nike app where you can buy all of your Nike products, and then the sneaker app for where you can get the latest drops for like their Jordan brand. The thing is, what is the point? What is the purpose in me saying, let me give this to you so people can go in stores and get my shoe, when people ain't even doing that in the first place anymore? Not just COVID. Yeah. People stopped lining up outside of Footlocker for sneakers years before COVID.
Yeah. I think the online shopping business really got people to stop going to the malls and the shoe stores. I think the only reason I would step into a shoe store if I know for sure they're going to have this shoe and I need it immediately. Like, I can't wait the shipping days for it to show up. I'm going to go into the mall right quick, buy me a quick pair of whatever I was looking for. I know they're going to cost this much, and I can walk out the store in hand. But online shopping took that away. That if I can order this junk and y'all ship it from the store, they even have ship to store. Even if I did go in the store, I don't have to be in the store for longer than 10 and 15 minutes. I just show up and get my package and walk out.
Check if it's Look,
Right.
Portia, it'll tell you if it's in stock at the store. So you can just say, ooh, I want it. Let me buy it now. I'll just go pick it up there. You ain't even got to ship it to me.
Right.
Come on now.
I think Footlocker found its shine. One, when there wasn't online shopping. And two, like for younger generation, and I'm about to unlock a memory, when your mamas used to take y'all to Footlocker and made y'all put y'all foot in that metal thing to see what y'all shoe size was. To see what y'all shoe size was before you bought your shoe. Now, that's legit. You have to walk in the store and do that. You can't online shop and guess that my foot may be 9.5, and then you wait a week for your shoes to show up and you can't fit them. Online shopping doesn't have that luxury.
But let's just be real. Here's the convenience of Amazon. That shoe measure, you can probably find it on Amazon for $5.
Yeah.
Like, they're not, like, the middleman companies, like, you know, if you pay attention to business, they've been talked about the death of department stores and malls. But this right here, it just shines a light on it. Because Adidas could do the same thing. Adidas got their stores in the outlets.
Yep.
They got their Confirmed app for where you can get your Yeezys for the sneakerheads. A lot of stores can get away with this. Like Nike's known. Nike don't gotta advertise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't even think I've seen a Nike commercial for Jordans. I can't remember the last time I seen a Jordans commercial. Because you can get on Instagram, Complex, Sneaker Drop, Kicks Finder, and everything else will advertise for them.
Yep.
Nike don't even gotta invest in marketing at this point. So it's like, why waste money on another company to ship my shoes when I can ship them personally? I can get rid of the bots on the sneaker app once I'm the only one selling my shoes.
Yeah.
I can monitor the quality of my product and the way that it's marketing because it's a direct-to-consumer relationship. And the consumer can talk to me and say, hey, we like and dislike this.
Eliminating the hops.
It's making it convenient. And I love talking business. I don't want to see businesses fail because it's not good for the economy. But I'm just be honest, the middleman in a lot of these situations, Footlocker in this situation, they're missing out. They're just extra money at this point, and you can save that. The money they're going to save from Footlocker can make more Jordans.
Or do something else. What was you about to say, Ralph?
Like, I would say, if anything, Footlocker, Finish Line, Champs, all those kind of stores, they're probably going to just turn into resale stores. If all the brands start just pulling out their products, they're probably just going to go into that resale game of, okay, so since y'all are going to pull y'all stuff off, we're just going to buy it from you at bulk and then resell it.
So I only feel like
I can see that happen.
I can see that happening, but the only way I can see it working, I can't see it being a commercial business such as Footlocker, because there are self-owned stores that do that. There are resale stores that they buy shoes and they resell them in the store. But I can't see that working for Footlocker because Footlocker is so commercial. Like,
and they would have to rebrand as well. They would have to invest a lot into rebranding.
Well, not even rebranding, but just like, think about it. Like, what a new shoe drops. Just say some Jordans drop today. How many Footlockers are going to buy? What's the process of buying all of these shoes and then reselling them in the Footlocker? You see what I'm getting at? It's the issue that we have with the bots and the resellers now. Like, we see in pictures of a Jordans that drop, and the guy got like 12 pairs of shoes in his house. Y'all want to turn that into commercial? I can see them doing. I can see them doing that, but I'm concerned on how they would make that work.
And here's the thing: that guy who got 20 pairs of Jordans, why would he sell his Jordans to Footlocker? Unless Footlocker is going to match the StockX and GOAT fees, why would he sell his shoes to Footlocker when he already can sell directly out his house?
Now that's what I can see.
StockX.
I was going to say,
StockX and GOAT, half their money is spent on verification. Their money is spent on training employees to verify the fakes from the real shoes. So Footlocker would have to spend even more money just to train people to even do that. That's
True.
a lot. They'll go in debt doing that.
Now that's the only way I see that working. That Footlocker just stops becoming. This is how I see it. This is my idea. I pulled this straight out of my ass. Phone warning. There is no business plan. I did not flesh this out. I can see it as Footlocker taking GOAT and StockX to the next level, that the store is just the pickup point. That I'm going on the Footlocker app and I bought a shoe that this guy was selling, consumer to consumer. You still get your two options. Do you want us to send it to this Footlocker in your area so it can get verified that this is the real shoe? Sure. Then they send it to Footlocker. Or do you just want to get it shipped straight to your house? And I can do that too. Now, if that I think would take a different level to the game, because you take out the shipping, you take out that secondary shipping. You got GOAT. If I bought some shoes from GOAT and I wanted to get it shipped, I have to wait for them to get shipped to the verifier. I have to wait for them to verify it, and then I have to wait for it to ship to me. If Footlocker wanted to be like, let's keep these hubs. You bought this shoe, we'll send it to the nearest Footlocker in your area. We have verifiers on hand that when they get their shoe, they'll verify it for you. They'll send you an email. They'll call you up. Hey, Ron. Hey, Ralph. We have your shoe. It's been verified. We sent you an email to let you know it's in good condition. You got 7 days to come pick it up.
Well, in that situation, here's what it becomes. Footlocker wouldn't become an independent store at that point. StockX or GOAT would end up buying them and acquiring them and using them in that scenario. But in terms of making a business deal and saying we give you portions of the money, Footlocker just becomes another middleman for them when they already got their own factories for verification and shipping. Like, if
That's
it could
true.
shorten the shipping dates, that would be beneficial, because StockX and GOAT, on average, when I get shoes off of them, it do take like 3 weeks.
That's
to
what I'm
ship
saying.
To the verifier and then ship back to me.
And that's what I'm saying. The benefit would be if it lowers the shipping. That after after I bought this shoe from Ralph shipped it to my nearest Footlocker. They take a day to sort through and verify, and I can go pick it up the next day. At the max, that might have been 5 to 7 days.
It's like they could, but the only way I see that working is if StockX or GOAT actually acquires Footlocker, not them making a deal with them. And then StockX and GOAT, that's if they even want to polish that experience. They might say, hell, we doing great already.
Yeah.
Because StockX and GOAT done changed the resale game. eBay is trying to catch up to them now.
Yeah.
eBay.
I mean, it's different avenues. I think if they did become resale, I think having the hubs would be one way to just put them outside of the game.
Yeah.
You know? And then it might just turn into business ventures that Footlocker is partnering with StockX or GOAT, that you can get your shoes shipped to this hub for verification. You can get your shoes the next day, and you don't have to wait the 3-week period that you usually do. So,
right.
We'll see.
Footlocker.
Growing.
We love you.
We loved you, Footlocker. But the game is changing. So our last topic, and speaking of games changing, let's talk about Amazon's Just Walk Out technology. So it came out that Amazon is going to be implementing their Just Walk Out technology at a Whole Foods store in DC. But this is not their first implementation of the software. For anybody who flies the Hudson Nonstop Airport store, the one that sells like the general snacks, the magazines, medicine, all that good stuff. You see them everywhere. There are a couple of those Hudson stores that use the Just Walk Out technology. So this is how it works. It's kind of like the turnstile business. Like, you know, when you go to the car wash and it scan your thing and then it lets the little gate up and then you walk in. You have to have a credit card to get into that joint. I'm just going to put that out there first. Before you even step inside the store, or the app, or your little Apple Pay or whatever. But you have to have some type of payment. Let me put it like that. You have to have some type of payment, digital payment. Can't have $20 in your pocket, Big G. You have to have some type of digital payment before you even step into the store. So after they let you in, which my assumption is some type of verification that this is a legit debit card, this is a legit payment app, you are giving me something legit, then they let you in the store. They have motion sensors, all types of technology, all in the store that they can detect when you're picking something up off the shelf, putting something back down, putting something in your bag, putting something in your pocket. And when you're done, when you walk out, they charge you for everything that they saw you picking up. Sounds convenient. The funniest thing I got out of this is that y'all are not going to be able to steal no more. Y'all are not gonna be able to steal no more.
See somebody try now.
The way that Walmart ain't got chips and like candy bar, like those little metal chips inside their candy bars and shit, it's only in their tech. Now you getting charged for every Snicker bar you sneak in your bag.
So my thing about Walmart, my thing about the technology and with big stores like Walmart, Walmart's gonna have to spend some bank. So for smaller stores that don't have all of that square feet, it's easy. Let's spend a couple grand on these motion sensors. We have a small store. We got like 3 aisles. So airport, the fact that the technology is being used in stores in the airport made a lot of sense. Or if you want to think of smaller retail stores, like when they had the Best Buy Expresses going around, I can see that technology being used in there.
I remember those.
So I can see it working very well in that. But how beefed up, think of how beefed up a Walmart would have to be for this technology to work.
You want to know what's interesting? Because there are a few nuances. A few things that question me. For the people who say their card gets rejected, is like a light going to beep red and an employee has to stop them and say, come on back? And 2, if you introduce it in a grocery stores where you're buying onions, bananas, apples, and it's based on the pound, how would Kroger, Rouse, Food for Less be able to integrate this into their stores?
And that's what
Those
I'm saying.
Those are the few questions I got.
And that's what I'm saying, like, grocery stores on that caliber. Because, like, picking up a bag of chips, okay, girl, we know that a bag of chips is going to cost you $1.50. A bottle of water going to cost you $1.89, $2, depending on what kind of water you bought. Like, things that have set prices, easy. What you just brought up, that's where it gets a bit more complicated. I think it would work for smaller retailers. Now, this Whole Foods. So the fact that they're putting it in a Whole Foods just makes me agree with your point even more, Ryan, because Whole Foods is the same thing. Like, it's certain stuff that you can pick up off the shelf and it has a set price. But if you ever go into Whole Foods, they have like dispensaries where you can get like peanuts and candy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And using just walk out technology, how does that work? How does that work? And the other thing with the Walmart, one of the nuances that I had is that if you're throwing a bunch of stuff in the buggy, like, I guess maybe if they're tracking that they see you pulling the stuff off the shelves, but how are you keeping up? I guess with the technology, how are you keeping up with all of that?
I would assume that the buggies themselves have sensors for when you cross that plane on top of the buggy of putting things in.
So you think they may have something?
I was thinking that.
So you're thinking that they may have something that when you walk down an aisle, the technology picks up that you're in this aisle. It's this general set of stuff that's up and down here.
I would say no and yes. I would say no because the cameras themselves inside of the grocery store will pick up what aisle you're on. And also the buggies itself should have a sensor, like a plane sensor, to where you drop something in, it's going to detect you put one thing in your buggy.
So you're saying the buggy's at a level of redundancy, essentially?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's how I feel like it will all intertwine because you use the cameras and you're also using the sensors from the buggy itself.
So here's where it becomes an issue. Stores like Sam's and Costco, where people are prone to overpacking their buggies. You even see people overpack their buggies at Walmart for the ones who buy their groceries in bulk. It's like there's a few nuances in it, and I want to see what they set up as a correctionary measure, because I was thinking like you that there got to be some type of sensors. I'm assuming like basically when you walk when you walk out the door, what used to be a metal detector is now able to sense damn near the barcodes of every product you got, and then in that quick scan, it just gets charged to the card that is also in the same relative area as that basket and a group of barcodes. But at the same time, fruits and veggies becomes an issue. Overpacking your buggy becomes an issue. And I don't know, it's interesting. Like, I would love to see how it works. Like, I want to walk in one of these stores and see how they do it, because I'm pretty sure they're going to implement it in all their Whole Foods first.
Yeah.
And then after they prove that it can work, that's when Walmart and Target, because they're probably going to give them some marketing tool about you can save, you make back your money, that when people are stealing now you can prevent. I'm pretty sure that's when Walmart and Target will say, let's invest a few million in this.
They might start small. If they start to implement inside of Walmart and Target, they might start off small. Something I thought of is
like
that
Arkansas
Walmart
headquarters or something.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say that Walmart is now doing these things that when you walk inside of Walmart, they have a grab and go section where they sell a certain amount of. It's basically like a convenience store at the front of the Walmart. That if you wanted to just grab you a drink or a sandwich or some chips or something, you would do it in that area and you wouldn't have to walk throughout the whole store. Now, if they wanted to take these Walmart grab and goes and like do it like that, like separate it from the Walmart store, that you could walk inside the Walmart grab and go. It has just walk out technology. You get what you need and you walk out. And maybe they see how well that goes, why they think of a plan of how are they going to expand that throughout the rest of the store.
Sure.
And I wonder when people overcharge their cards, because in some scenarios, like for me, for example, I have my bank card set up to where it don't go into overdraft. The only way it can go into overdraft is for pre-approved purchases, like an Amazon subscription or a Netflix subscription. But if I'm in Walmart and I ain't got the money and I scan my card, the lady's going to whisper in my ear, "Oh, sir, your card got rejected." So for people like that, I wonder how it's going to go, or does it get registered as a pre-approved purchase? Or are they going to say go into your second card? Or is like the machine going to glow red, and that's when the employees on deck got to go stop the person?
So the other thing about the technology is that, like you have the gate that lets you in the store, you also have the gate that lets you out the store. I can see it.
So it's going to be integrated with that.
My assumption is that you don't have the money. Why am I letting you out the store? You see, it has to be a quick turnaround though. Like you can't wait. You can't now you want to charge my card. I'm already at the store, and now you just found out that I ain't have no money, but I already got what I walked out with. It's gonna have to be something that, as soon as I walk towards the gate or something like that, you don't let me out. I ain't got no money. Then an associate walks over. Because what the other thing that they're trying to do with the just walk out technology, they're trying to remove the name cashier. And that people who used to be cashiers will now be called sales associates. Which some cashiers are already called sales associates anyway. Just not be called a cashier. But this would actually be what that is. Like, I'm not taking your money or nothing like that. But they will walk over and be like, "Oh, it won't let me out the gate." "Well, yeah, girl, your card got declined. Let me check my iPad." "Yeah, girl, it said your card declined. You gonna have to put some back."
Right.
But I think the technology is cool. I don't know if this is supposed to be a full-size Whole Foods or if this is going to be a smaller version of Whole Foods. But I really only see this working for small retailers. At the moment.
Yeah.
if this is where we're going, because another thing that this does, this takes away, this goes full digital. We are not going to be walking around with cash money anymore. If this is what retailers are turning to, that you're not going to be able to.
We already don't do that.
But the option is still there. You have majority of the population that don't do that they are fine with Apple Paying, swiping their card, tapping their card, sticking up the chips, swipe, whatever. But you still have people that paying cash in certain situations. Just walk out technology removes it. It's done. Why do you have cash in your pocket?
Through the adjustment phase, if anything, like say if this does get like really big really quickly, you might start off for the first couple of years where they only legit do have like 2 lines of cashiers for like
they're doing that now.
Update their phones and all that.
They're doing that now. Yeah. Walmart has 3 cashiers, and everything else
and self-checkout
is self-checkout. Self-checkout is huge now. Self-checkout used to be like 3 to 4 little stations. You walk into a Walmart now, that's all it is self-checkout. And everybody who would have been cashiers are just walking around making sure you're not stealing. Or if you're trying to buy some alcohol, they'll walk over, let me see your ID, yada, yada, yada. Or if you scan something twice, they'll fix it up for you or whatever. But Walmart's
or like out here, they got deodorant locked up and stuff, so they got the folks in the yellow vest to unlock it and put the deodorant in the box.
No, because that's y'all be stealing. Because why are they locking up the deodorant?
And that's these LA folks, bro. That's these LA folks.
Has nothing. Them locking up the deodorant has nothing to do with self-checkout. It's y'all be stealing.
You want to know what's crazy, Portia? I went to the Walmart in like Compton. Tell me why they had the natural hair products locked up.
Because y'all be stealing. I want to say
something.
Because y'all be stealing. Listen. This is how I know y'all be stealing. The only thing that Walmart used to lock up was electronics. Why are we locking up deodorant? Why are we because y'all be stealing.
Bro, when I went to Walmart to get some Tylenol, I had to wait 10 minutes to unlock it.
Because y'all be stealing. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about
LA folks.
One is expensive. Natural hair care products for all my natural hair wearers out here. Natural hair products are expensive. Hella expensive. So yeah, we gonna steal. But because we stealing, that's why. But because we stealing, that's why they locking them up. And y'all I would say that deodorant is not that expensive. Why are y'all out here stealing deodorant? You can spend $5 on a 2-pack. That's because y'all drug heads. That's why they locking up the Tylenol.
Bro.
That's why you can't buy drugs like that. You can't buy drugs like not hard drugs, but like the strengths, the extra strengths and stuff off the counter no more because y'all do drugs. Y'all do stuff with them. But they are not.
I ain't seen that stuff until I came out here to California.
I just want to go back to the fact that they are not locking up the deodorant because of self-checkout. That has to be, the line was here and you went here. Like, what are you even talking about?
Bro, they lock up deodorant, bro. Deodorant, natural hair products, medicine. What else have I seen? And it depends on the Walmart. Each Walmart is made differently. Like the one that had the hair care products, it was in a neighborhood, where users of natural hair products are more common. But it's interesting. I didn't know why they locked up Tylenol and the nasal spray. They had all that locked up, Advil and aspirin. I'm over here having a headache from my tonsils to wait to get some medicine.
Yeah, but I will say medicine, hair care products, deodorant, I'm going to stand on that. It's not deodorant. I don't know what kind of deodorant y'all be using that y'all have to steal it. but I pay $5 for a 2-pack of deodorant, and that lasts me for a couple months. But medicine is expensive. Hair care products are expensive, so I feel them on. Let me just take this right quick instead of paying $10 for some shampoo. But that's why Walmart is locking the stuff up, because y'all be stealing. Not because of self-checkout.
Bro, when they start locking up Cheeto bags, that's when they went too far.
When they start locking up Cheeto bags have to be at least $5. It has to be. Why did I walk down the chip aisle?
That anyway?
How did I walk down the chip aisle and I gotta ask an associate to pass me a bag of hot Cheetos? Why? Why? Why?
Bro.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. Technology is expanding, y'all. Businesses are. I don't know. I think we are entering a new era where people are just trying to find their footing, and I think it's gonna be some people that's gonna fail, and it's some people that's gonna strive, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But that's all the time that we have for today, boys. What you was about to say, Ryan? Because I seen you. What you was finna say?
I said, come talk me business with the mob, because this was a real business heavy show.
They was like, I thought y'all was supposed to be some black nerds. Yeah, man. Yeah, but you know,
passions of all facets.
We told y'all what was finna go down for 2022, but that's all the time that we have for today. I want to thank you both, Ron and Ralph, for joining me again on another episode, and everybody who's been listening, whether this is your 16th time or your first time listening to the Blerd Bomb. Thank you for listening and continuously supporting. And with that, go ahead, lead us out, Ralph.
All right. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter and Facebook at the Blerd Mob. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at the Blerd Mob Pod. With that being said, we're signing out. Peace.
Peace.
Hands up. If you love him where you at, stand 10 toes down. Shout ain't no looking mad. You can let them haters hate when they answer while I'm smiling.